Hopefully you guys will find some help in just listening in, because there is a lot of stuff going on in the world today. Stuff like what is going on? Why is this going on? So some of you have done trading courses already. You know that I'm by trade a professional trader, and we talk about markets and market cycles all the time. So we'll spend some time discussing markets and their cycles. There is a chat box you can see somebody has typed, "Hello, Shirley, welcome." If you want to type any questions as we go, type your question there and I'll be glad to answer as soon as it's due for the answer. What I mean is I'm going to go on a roll now and I'm going to do this presentation for you. Get you excited about, really get you excited about the future. Get you excited about now, because often what happens is we are absolutely bombarded in this information age with so much information that we are confused. We don't really know if we're coming or going. And we as South Africans try and find some humor in whatever situation we find ourselves in. But this has become a worldwide situation, and welcome to my American friends. So this one will include American charts and prices and stuff tonight. So first of all, I want to introduce you to the CVO and founder of Silver Chief. I've just flown up from Johannesburg back to home in Cape Town, spent a week with this guy and two other people, Chris and his wife. And Brandon was the founder of this company. And I said to him when I met him, I said, if you didn't start this company, I would have probably started it, because as a professional trader, I spend a lot of time analyzing markets, looking at the screens, and then determining why are things happening, when they are happening. And we had already predicted, I've got recordings where I told my traders last year, September already, that we are due for a stock market crash soon, because every 90 years there's a depression. So I'm not talking about recessions. Recessions happen often. I'm talking about a major depression. So in 1929, there was a depression, and 90 years later, there's another depression, or a part depression that's busy happening right now. So when was the depression in 1929? It started in September, and then it was in the news in October. When did this one start? This started in September 2019 when the virus was announced. And of course, we are exactly 90 years to the day, to the month on a depression. So what happens, we're going to discuss a few things that happen in times like this. And then while we are discussing this, we're going to discuss the company and the different options that have come out of that. So Brandon is the founder of this company. He's a very dynamic young guy. He has been involved in network marketing himself with huge teams of people. He's went and registered the company, got the Direct Marketing Association of South Africa. He's got tax consultants. He's got VAT registration, company registration, financial intelligence registration. Often there are so many schemes out there, people don't even know who the owner is. And when that thing crashes, then they say, oh, well, we didn't know really who the owner was. So here's a guy putting his face to the business and wants to help as many people as possible. So let's go through a few little aspects, and we're going to play a little video now and discuss what is happening in the world of silver. First of all, we are in a huge inflation time bomb. We will see inflation go seriously haywire in the next few weeks and the next few months. So that means even though you've got cash in the hands or money in the bank, your money devalues at quite a serious rate. So this is the inflation of the deflation of your currency and the inflation since 1961 in South Africa, 9,042%. So when we look at different countries in the world, when the economies crashed, I can speak from experience living in Zimbabwe from 2002 to 2007, where we saw hyperinflation. That 15,000% is when it crashed. Zimbabwe is in the trillions, the millions and the trillions of billions of percent that it actually is at the moment from the time that it crashed. So when I went into Zimbabwe in 2002, we were getting 170 Zim dollars to 1 rand. When I left in 2007, we were getting 3 billion Zim dollars to 1 rand. And that's after they cut off the zeros, the last 3 zeros 3 times on the notes. So we are possibly seeing that in countries like South Africa. This is the kind of stuff that happens every 10 years where your inflation affects what you can put in your grocery trolley. It is simply crazy. It goes 3 times every time. So when we go and look back at whatever is happening in the world, the bubbles, we have hit a bubble. And for those of you who tuned in earlier, might have seen I actually opened my graph on the different stock exchanges. And I would, if you guys are excited about this kind of thing, I will show you what's actually happening on the stock exchanges at the moment. And one thing we've noticed that in the last 2 years, the JSE has dropped to 50% of its value. So anybody that's bragging that they're on the JSE or they trading stocks on the JSE is in serious trouble at the moment. All right, so we have different times in the history where your markets plunge. And of course, this graph that you see now is the current plunge happening right there. The markets have, on average, plunged 30% in the last 2 weeks. So 30% is pretty hectic for a market to plunge. And that means there is mass panic and the people are selling off. So any of you who have been involved with Bitcoin or Litecoin or stock markets, there's no mercy. They've all dropped very seriously in the last while. So if you've not known when to sell, you were too late and you have to now wait it out for your money to increase again. So this is the kind of plunges that we will see as the bubbles come. What normally happens when the stock market crashes, we've seen even that gold and silver have gone down in correlation to the normal stock market. So what happens there? Whenever there's a stock market crash, people normally take parts of their funds or part of their investment, especially if it's gold or silver, and then they cash it out. They make sure that they can go and buy stuff like toilet paper and whatever, so that they can survive for the next 2 or 3 months and make use of their money. So in other words, they turn their money into material things before the inflation or the hyperinflation begins. But we have decided to start a business in silver. And I know there's guys on this webinar that have been involved in gold company sales in small amounts. And myself, I've been involved too, where we've been paying 55, 60% above spot price. So we don't want to give people ridiculously expensive prices on their. I mean, gold is highly regulated in the world. You may not have any granules or bars of gold. You may only have gold coins. And if you carry the gold Kruger coin, then you cannot take it out of the country. So if you get to the airport with a gold Kruger coin, they're going to ask you where's your permission to take it out of the country. So with silver, there's no regulation on silver at the moment, and silver is seriously cheap. Silver is the most undervalued commodity on earth. Second to oil, it's the world's most useful commodity. So if you think your cell phone, your laptop, your computer screen, your TV screen, all of that contains silver. Your cell phone would contain at least half an ounce of silver. Laptops, two ounces of silver. TVs between 3 and 5 ounces of silver, depending on the size of the TV. Car batteries, electric cars would carry up to 5 kilograms of silver. So we have silver used almost in every single electronic device that there is. Solar panels. Guys, I mean, solar panels, guess what? One of the most in demand items right now in the world is solar panels. With the current crisis in South Africa, with power, people are looking to get off the grid. So what if you could have something that would be beneficial to you? Medical and dental equipment. Most bacteria and disease dies in the presence of silver. So everything that is silver or has silver, if you've ever heard of colloidal silver is one of the most amazing products that there is to build immunity. So if you're feeling like your immune system is low, then what about using colloidal silver? You can actually make your own colloidal silver should you get order from us. So guess what? Guess who one of the greatest traders in the world at the moment is? Warren himself has bought $1 billion in silver recently. That's pretty hectic. Then Robert Kiyosaki, I have not played you the video for time purpose, but Robert Kiyosaki says silver is bigger than real estate. Now, if somebody like Robert Kiyosaki that has been in real estate all his life, and by the way, if you've not read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or the Cash Flow Quadrant, I have lots of sympathy for you because there's a lot that in the modern world that you wouldn't understand about the way money operates. And in many years ago, when I read his books, I think it was 98, I got so excited within 6 to 8 months, I'd rid myself of debt and I was a youngster. Thereafter, I went into the ministry and I became basically a pastor, a priest for 7 years, and I had to sell everything. So when I came out of the ministry at the age of 37, 38, I was basically started all over again. So when it comes to looking at the way money works, Robert Kiyosaki is one of the best teachers in the world. Now for him to say, and there's several videos, if you have not got the videos that Robert Kiyosaki actually talks on and Mike Maloney, you ask for us for the link afterwards. We will send you the link to all these videos. Let's talk about one of the biggest banks in America. These guys have stockpiled silver quite seriously. The last time they ordered silver was another 400 million ounces on top of what they ordered here in 2018, early 2019. So they've been stockpiling ounces and ounces of silver. So why do people do things like this? Because physical property can be confiscated. Physical property you cannot move. If you had to take your house and determine what the value of your house is, I can promise you that the gold brick that you would get for that house would fit into one hand. And that's exactly why people are buying real movable assets like gold and silver, except that gold is regulated and you cannot buy gold in bars. You've got to buy it in coins or in jewelry, and then it works out a lot more expensive than what it is. In fact, gold is still one of the most overpriced products in the world. If you've ever bought and sold gold in your life, I did this in 2012, 2013. we went to Zimbabwe, we went and bought and sold gold. It was one of the most difficult industries to get into, because when you sell gold to a dealer, the gold dealer wants to pay you 10, 15, 20% below spot price. And when you buy it from a dealer, or you buy it from the mint, they want to sell it to you at 15, 20% above spot price. So gold, unless you're holding long time, is definitely not the greatest investment to have.
Gold and silver do an accounting periodically throughout history. It's really exciting to see this. They automatically revalue themselves when the public wakes up, and they catch up to all the currency that's been produced.
To me, I've been saying this for a number of years now, silver is the biggest opportunity I have ever seen.
Silver is extremely rare. For the first time in human history, there is more.
All right, so the message here is there is more gold available than silver in the world today. The reason why silver is less available than gold, because it's not worth mining it. So what they've determined underneath the ground, that there is more gold than silver, but it's more profitable to mine gold than silver. So silver is becoming a very, very precious commodity. So let's talk about the gold and the silver ratio. So in normal, stable economic times, we're looking at a 35-to-1 ratio. And that is when the economies, there's no troubles in the economies. When we take this current, now I've actually adjusted this presentation from the guys who sent it to me. The current gold to silver ratio is 121-to-1. That is serious. It was, when I got this presentation, it was about 96, 98. In the last few days, it's gone very seriously out of whack. This is an out of whack situation, because whenever this happens, then you know you've got an economic crisis and there's a correction coming in the price. So the average ratio for gold to silver over hundreds of years has been about 15-to-1. So from 121 back to 15-to-1 actually means that there is a more profitable ratio of buying silver rather than gold. So here's what the deal is. If you've ever bought gold or silver, or ever bought Bitcoin or Litecoin. So let's pretend gold and Bitcoin are the same, and silver and Litecoin are the same. When gold price falls 20%, silver price falls 40%. But when gold increases 20%, silver will increase 40%. So here's what happens. If gold had to double its value in the next month or two, silver will go up 4 to 6 times its value in the same time. In other words, if you're buying now, don't buy gold, rather buy silver, because your ratio of it increasing is much better. The same with Bitcoin and Litecoin. Don't buy Bitcoin at the bottom, buy Litecoin. So if you buy, well, we go into a lesson another time on that ratio, but you can check the graphs yourselves. So through the times of economic distress, silver usually follows gold and then outperforms it. So it goes up more seriously. And then we can see in 1976 to 1980, where gold went up 717%, silver went up 1,063%. So each time, except for once, did silver outperform gold every time. So here's what happens. And this is the kind of ratio we're seeing right happen now. You will see that those little yellow W, this is a W in trading terms. And we often see these W's form where this does a W and then soon after it does a bull run. There's a W. When, in fact, that W there needs to form right there now. So we also see on the normal trading, the normal trading from the 2000, right there, 2008, 2010, that this is forming what we call a cup in trading terms. So this cup, this price, compared to what it is right now, the price of silver is $12. The price of silver should be, in the next 6 to 18 months, should be around $65 to $85, conservative numbers. So that is an actual graph that I've drawn. So what Mike Maloney is saying is that the price of silver should go up to $700 plus whenever everything starts going electrical. So when we look, some countries have actually put time frames on when their cars will be 100% electrical, and then the price of silver will go up seriously. Right, and then basically silver won't be used in vehicles anymore unless they're expensive vehicles. All right, so let's talk about Silver Chief and the concept behind it. So there will be two options for everybody. And this is what I like about the two options, is that not everybody is someone that likes a lot of people, likes to talk to people, likes to network. That's great. We have two options. Is I want to buy silver for myself option, or option two is I want to tell everybody about it and I want to make money out of this. So there will be 5 main locations for the storage of silver. Of course, Hong Kong and Singapore is closed at the moment while the virus is around. And when that opens up again, I don't physically believe that this virus will last for a long time. I think just the effects of the virus will affect the markets. And of course, where does the silver that we buy get kept? So the main center is in Johannesburg at the moment, in the Knox safe deposit boxes. So this is a vault where people store their valuable items, whether they put jewelry, gold, whatever. It's high security. You may not go into that place unless you're assisted, unless you got the key, unless for many, many reasons. And there is Brandon himself busy opening one of the boxes with the silver storage in it. So he's excited about showing us this possibility that we can actually vault our silver. And vaulting costs money. It's a $200-300 a month. So it's a serious business. But then with the subscription, you won't have to pay any vaulting costs. So let's quickly talk about how the world works. For those of you who've never seen this before, this is Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. The cash flow quadrant works simple. You always in one of 4 categories. So most people are basically employees. That's 95% of the population are employees and self-employees. And everybody wants to be their own boss. But unfortunately, being self-employed means that the job owns you, and when you stop working, you don't need to, then you stop earning. Whereas there are business owners and investors, which are only 5% of the population, and that's ideal for most people that want time to be free. So when we talk about ways of producing income, for those of you who like to work a job, like to go make the boss happy, like to sit in traffic every morning, that is the way to go. I heard this morning that my sister was retrenched, and we are going to see a lot more people retrenched, businesses closing in the next while. And what are your options? What are your options if you get laid off? So this is an opportunity which is above board. Somebody let us know today, well, my son is very skeptical about this. You know, he thinks could be a Ponzi scheme, whatever. All right, that's great. I always I've looked at probably 20 or 30 different schemes this year alone. And we haven't signed up with anything for the last 4 or 5 years since we've been part of the last Ponzi scheme. And nobody will admit they're part of a Ponzi scheme, even if it's crashed, if it's fallen. But this was the first opportunity that made sense to me when I decided to sign up. And we're going to show you a few little aspects of it. So when you sign up, you have access to the business system to generate cash flow and to buy silver. So you have access to competitively priced silver and easy online purchasing. So when we sat down and looked at the prices yesterday, while I was sitting yesterday and the previous day in Johannesburg, and we looked at the prices on bid or buy versus the prices that we could give it to the clients for, the prices were very competitive. So whereas if you buy granules of silver, it's cheaper to buy granules than to buy the coins, because coins cost the minting costs, and that pushes the price up. So we have been selling silver Krugerrands at about 400 Rand a coin. And when we look at the silver granules are around 320, 340 Rand for an ounce. So you actually score a lot more by buying and storing the granules. You have the option to liquidate the purchased silver or have it delivered to you. So there's two options. There's local and international vaulting services, and when you want to sell it back to the company, you can sell it at spot price. In other words, if you're buying the silver at 300 or 400 Rand an ounce, and you've bought 20 ounces in 6 or 8 months' time, when it's 600 or 800 Rand an ounce, you can sell it then at spot price. In other words, it's guaranteed to buy back. There are so many people buying silver that they cannot wait for somebody else to buy the silver from them. So when anyone wants to sell silver, they'll be able to get it back at spot price. So what is included in your membership? Access to building support and leverage on the team efforts, revenue through 10% commission on bulk silver purchases from customers. So if your immediate customer buys silver, you get a 10% commission. It's not a lot of money. 10% is not a lot of money on 320 Rand. But you are helping other people get silver at market and lower than market prices. Then there's once-off direct commissions, there's binary commissions, and lots more. So what does it cost to get involved? Your sign-up fee is 2,000 Rand. So that 2,000 Rand you pay, and you get 1 gram of silver stored in the vault for you, once off. That includes vaulting of all the silver that you buy. That means you have now access to be part of a system. This is there aren't other packages available. When I actually listened to this presentation the first time, there were a few packages available. This is the top package. Go and sign up with any gold or silver company now that's selling gold. You're not even going to get 2,000 Rand sign up fee. Then thereafter, that's included. And then the membership fee. So every month it costs you 1,000 Rand per month, or 50 pounds, depending on which country you're from. But that means if you sign one person up per month, then it's covered. Your fee is covered. So, all right, I'm not a networker. I can't sign one person up a month. Great. Then you buy silver. We order silver, we get the silver vaulted for you or delivered. Look, if you get delivered, then you obviously have to pay the delivery fee. So if you pay the monthly fee, you get then access to direct commission of 1,000 Rand for every person that signs up. So if you sign 2 people a month, you get 2,000 Rand for the month. If you sign 20 people for the month, you get 20,000 Rand for the month. If you sell, or for the Americans, it's all the same related. So you're going to take 50 pounds, which is about what, $60. You're going to get that equivalent for every person that signs up. So every time you sign someone up, you get a direct once-off commission. So if you sign 1 or 2 or 3 people, you get 1,000 Rand on each person that signs up. This is how the binary tree works. So the whole system was put into a binary, which makes more sense because often direct selling or network marketing companies say you must build so many legs, blah, blah, blah. You will start with an A team and a B team, or a left leg and a right leg. So you sign one person up and you get 1,000 Rand. Then you sign the second person up, you get 1,000 Rand. So you have a left leg and a right leg. Then the third person sign up, another 1,000 Rand. Fourth person, another one. When you've got 4 on the left and 4 on the right, you get an extra commission of £50 or 1,000 Rand a month as a residual income. And so this thing grows. If you've got 10 on the left and 10 on the right, you get 5,000 Rand a month. So this is pretty much a very exciting marketing plan, because very few marketing plans. I was part of a marketing plan where I've got like 600 people in my network. And guess what I'm earning every month? Virtually zero. Because the plan is not designed to make you money, it's designed to push high volume sales. And this is the problem often with these guys. So if you got 4 on the left, 4 on the right, you get 1,000 Rand. You got 10 on the left, 10 on the right, you got 5,000 Rand. You've got 20, it's 10,000 Rand a month. If you got 50 on the left, 50 on the right, it is 20,000 Rand per month. And we go on. If 100 on the left, 100 on the right, my wife and I basically almost built up 2020 already. So we're working hard to finish that 2020 leg in the last 2 weeks. On 100, you're earning 40,000 Rand a month. On 150, 60,000 a month. 300, 6,000, 120,000 a month. 600 to 250,000 per month. And this is a very, very, and it carries on. It goes up 250,000, 500,000, and so on. So if you want the bigger numbers, contact the person who sent you the invite, or if we sent you the invite, contact us afterwards. So let's talk about the power of one. So let's say you're a conservative person, you just want to do this slowly, there's no pressure. Let's say in month 1, you sign one person up and you've got one person in your network, you don't get any residual income. In the second month, you sign the next person up, you get that person just to sign one person up. So we're going to say every person now signs only one person up. We know that doesn't happen like that. One person will go and sign up 100, one will do nothing, other one will sign up 10 and 5 and so on. Let's say we're just going at a slow snail pace of 1 per month. Second month, you've got 3 people, no residual income. Month 3, you've got 3 people that you sign up, and each one sign one person up. You got 7 altogether, no income except the personals that you sign up. So in month 3, you sign one person up, you got 1,000 Rand back. Month 4, you sign one person up, you got 1,000 Rand. Each one just did 111, and we're looking at our first 4 on the left and 4 on the right, and that gives us 1,000 Rand a month. Month 5, you just do exactly the same. You sign one up, everyone else signs one up. This is over 5 months. You got 31, you got 10 on the left and the right, and you're earning 5,000 Rand a month. I don't know how many of you can do with an extra 5,000 Rand a month, but I think most people would be happy with that kind of income. Month 6, okay, so the guy that did this chart, he couldn't get any of the little bubbles and numbers in, but we're sitting on 63 people, which other words, 20 left, 20 right, and that will give you 10,000 Rand a month. Month 7, duplicate, and we're sitting on 20,000 Rand a month. Month 8, duplicate, we're sitting on 40,000 Rand a month. Month 9, duplicate, we're sitting on 60,000 Rand a month. Month 10, 1,023 people, 300, plus all the people you're signing up, commissions, 120,000. Month 11, duplicate, we're sitting on 250,000 Rand a month. Month 12, 500,000 a month. So that 4,000 people is not the most difficult thing to do, because you don't need to do, you just need to find gems. You need to find diamonds. I had a lady contact me the other day. She says, what about this 1,000 Rand a month? So I said, could you possibly recruit one person a month? She says, oh, of course, I'm a networker. I said, well, how about 2 or 3 or 4? She says, anytime. And I said, do you know any people who know people? Yeah, of course I know. Well, there's the problem is solved. So compound interest, Einstein said, is the 8th wonder of the world, and he who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. Right, so when we talk about silver, we are talking about a real product. There's a lot of networks out, good and bad networks out, but they're not sustainable. I've seen 6 network marketing companies that are busy crashing at the moment. I'm not going to mention the names. I'm not going to run down any companies' names. They are crashing at the moment. I had a guy here this morning with a company that started 6 or 8 months ago in South Africa. They're busy folding because they can't pay their people anymore. The people are rushing around trying to figure out how they're going to earn income, because they've gone and done stupid things like buying fancy cars and stuff like that, spending the money. So how do we get started? You sign up with a link that the person who invited you has given you, or we will give you our link. There's a 30-page getting started document. Don't try and explain this over the phone to anyone. Invite people to a presentation. So with the current situation in the world, we are going to do regular webinars. And we're going to include some webinars in between on how to save money on your monthly expenses. My wife and I saved 33% in 2 months on our monthly expenses. We're going to show you how to do that. So some people, they want to make money, but they don't know how to save money. They don't know how to cut their costs. So they end up being in deeper and deeper debt all the time. We got a 90-90-90 system. Make a phone call in 90 seconds. So some of you have received messages from me. What I do is I use my WhatsApp. I send all my friends, my top friends first. I send them a WhatsApp voice note, personalized voice note. I ask them how they are, how's it going with the family, etc. And then I tell them I've got an amazing opportunity to share with them, and it's in the silver business. You don't need to tell them anything more than that. If I've had 2 people we contacted last week, and when I said the word silver, they said, what? We've been talking about silver the last week. We've been wondering how to buy and and we've got now the opportunity. 90 minutes, 90 seconds to invite, 90 minutes presentation, and that's once a week, and in 90 days, you can make it big. So what we thought to do was, if any of you have got any questions, you can ask the question in the question box right on the screen, and just put your type here. We'll get into any questions that you guys want to ask while there's time. I don't want to push the presentation for over an hour. It gets boring. People don't want to sit and listen to long-winded presentations. This is an overview presentation of what we are doing. So the silver business started in May last year. Actually, the whole thing went live 2 weeks ago, and in the meantime, we probably just over 1,000 people worldwide. So the business, we've got people signing up from United States, United Kingdom, Nigeria, Namibia, and we're sitting now at 1,900 people. So in the last 2 days, because of one of the big networks crumbling, we got at least 900 people sign up. So you guys are basically at the pinnacle, at the point of getting early days. So if you do not want to sign up, no pressure. You can still buy silver. There are silver at the moment. We're starting with small amounts of silver to the value of 2,500 upwards. So if you want to buy silver, we put in the order. The order is processed within 3 or 4 days. The order is picked up and vaulted. Should you want to have the silver delivered to you, then we make arrangements for delivery to your house. So depending on how much silver you want, I think in this time and frame with the silver price being so low, what is going to happen with things like silver and petrol and stuff that's so cheap at the moment is they're going to limit the supply. And what I'm saying limit the supply is, instead of you getting it at the market price, the low price, the silver mint, and you can see Mike Maloney's latest video, is they're going to tell you, you're going to say, but the price is so much, but they're going to tell you that actually the price is what we want to sell it for. So we know that even though the price is low, this is the lowest price I have seen in silver in a long time. Now, talking about silver, there are a lot of old South African coins from the 1965 and earlier coins, some of the old 1 Rand coins, the Tiki coins, they contain between 50 and 80% silver. So if you've got those coins lying around, I suggest you scratch them out. They are worth something. And some of those coins are actually worth more because of the date that is pressed on the coin. So we are very excited about this opportunity, and we would like to get as many people involved as quick as possible. But we're not going to pressurize anybody. We're not going to tell you, if you click on this link now, this is your last opportunity. We still want to be friends with everybody. We still want to have as many people as possible taking advantage of the prices that are low. So what happens is, Warren Buffett said once, when there's blood on the streets, it's time to buy. One of the Rothschilds said, when there's blood in the streets, it's time to buy, even if it's your own blood. So a lot of you folks might feel you down and out and rock bottom, but you know that whatever cash you got in the bank now might be depreciating at a rapid rate. And this we have seen with the amount of purchases at the mint these last two days, that the mint has not been able to even answer the calls from the people. People have to go, that are known to be dealers, physically have to go there and place their orders and in the queuing system. So this doesn't happen all the time. The rich people are buying silver right now. Right, so we've got a question here from Sharon. So do people who buy only silver, do they also count for your 4-4? So if somebody has signed up into your binary system and not paid for the sign up, they do not count for the binary until they pay their fee. So in other words, they are in your binary just as a client. And the benefit of them being a client is that they can log into their back office and order silver. But they do, and what happens is whoever signed them up will benefit of getting between 5 and 10% kickback on the silver that they buy. All right, spot price. Explain the spot price. So the spot price in South Africa versus United States, it's different because we pay in South Africa, let's say you're buying a Kruger Rand coin, which is way expensive compared to what the price of silver is. When you buy silver from a dealer or the mint, you're going to pay spot price plus 15% plus that's the markup, and then 15% VAT plus whatever the person that's bought it is going to sell it for. So you're going to end up paying quite a lot over spot price. So the prices that we're going to get it for, that we've already bought it for, is underneath whatever your price is in the market. So what people do is they will go on to Take a Lot or Bid or Buy. Bid or Buy is the best place to go and search for prices, and you'll see that our prices that we get are cheaper than. So you say, well, how do I make money in this? You make money by networking. And then obviously people buying, we had 2 people buying 20,000 rands worth of silver today, another 2 people buying 10,000 rands worth of silver, and we have people that are planning to buy 100 and 200,000 rands worth of silver. So that's a small income for you if you're earning between 5 and 10% of people that are buying that you introduced. So what do you get for the monthly fee? So every time you pay your monthly fee, 1 gram of silver gets put away for you in the vault. So the price was a bit more, at least 60%, the monthly fee was at least 60% and double more than what it is now. But they said, rather bring the monthly fee down that you can use your money to buy more silver. So that was the idea of creating 1,000 rand or whatever, 50 pound monthly fee, so that you could use the rest of your money to buy silver. And for, let's say you're buying only a Kruger Rand coin, which is around 380, 400 Rand now. Almost everybody I know can afford 400 Rand to buy 1 ounce of silver a month. If you can't afford 1 ounce of silver, you're in financial trouble. You're in big trouble, because that means you're overspending. You've gone over your budget. So when we do our webinar on how to save money, you guys must plug into that webinar. All right, so Sharon asks, is the four on the left and 4 on the right personal recruits? No. You could have signed 2 people up. If they sign, the 2 people you sign 3 each, then that counts for you as in your network. So what happens is, in your network, you'll have what they call spillovers. You'll have your upline building down. In other words, the people that come in. So you will actually only personally write in probably about 5 or 10% of the people that are in your network eventually. Yes, no, I said 1 gram of silver. For sign up, the original sign up was 2,300, which included 1 ounce of silver, but at the moment it's 1 gram of silver. All right, so I think we've pretty much covered everything. If you guys have got any other questions, we're happy to answer questions. What I'm going to do also is I'm recording this webinar, so we'll be able to get it out to you guys in the next few hours when I've uploaded it onto YouTube, and then you guys can just send us a message and we will send you the links, and we will help you get any questions answered and sign ups. If you've invited somebody to this webinar and you see they're online, let them ask them what they thought and any questions they might have. I actually had so many questions the first time I just signed up, and then found out later all the questions. I've still got questions. I still don't know everything, but the company is still in the process of development. I've been sitting with the owner and the top people of the company, reasoning about the marketing system and discussing all the aspects, because it's been hectic, folks. The last few days have been hectic. You can't believe how much silver there is. I see Carol is online. Carol, you know, you've also been talking to me about silver. So, I mean, she sent me a message out the blue, and it's nothing related to Silver Chief, but yeah, we're talking all talking silver. And for those who came late in the webinar, silver as to gold is too expensive, $1,500. It actually fell $200 an ounce. Silver is $12 an ounce. So silver ratio to gold is 121 times. When the price of gold goes up 50%, silver will go up 100%. So if I tell you got two investment choices, the one to go up, choose 50% increase in price or 100% in the same time frame, you probably want the one that's 100%. If gold goes up 100%, silver will probably go up 6 or 8 times its value. So the ratio increases as the price goes up. We can get you gold also, but obviously gold is more expensive because the smaller the ratio, the more expensive it is. So Kruger Rand coins, if you need Kruger Rand coins, we can get them for you. So there's not like we are only in the silver business, but we're starting the silver business because it's something that everybody can afford. All right, great, folks. I see there's no more questions, but we will be happy to talk to you soon. If I'm actually putting my wife's number down, and she will be happy to take calls after the webinar. So I've put it in the box there for you folks to write down. Thank you, Shirley. You and everyone else have a wonderful evening and afternoon to the Americans, but it's becoming evening there soon.